Hey guys, Dean here. So in today's video, what we're going to be talking about is how you can actually make money online whilst traveling at the same time. Because so many people nowadays, they want to explore the world and go on really nice holidays while still actually making an income or a side income on the side whilst enjoying the location that they're in. And it's a really rewarding lifestyle, and it's really something which I think you'd benefit from actually experiencing yourself. Now, I've been actually traveling and working remotely probably for, I'd say, about the past 2 to 3 years. I think since 2020 at the start of the pandemic, when I started to see some slow success from my YouTube channel, which I actually put around 3 years of work into at this point so far to get it to that level. And it's been a really rewarding lifestyle. I've managed to explore so many different places in Europe, which has got me out of my comfort zone. It's allowed me to connect with lots of online friends which I'd never met before, and allowed me to explore some really cool places. And since for most of these trips I was experiencing it as a solo traveler, it allowed me to be completely self-sufficient and live a lifestyle which was different to which I was typically used to, right? And I've been enjoying this digital nomad lifestyle for a few months out of the year, not for the full year. Usually for around 3 to 6 months out of the year I've been traveling, and then I would come home, or I'd come home to the apartment that I was in, right? And I've actually been able to do this through the power of YouTube and running an online business. So that's just a little bit of quick background information about me, but now I want to actually explore how you can actually do this yourself based on my own experience and some tips of some other businesses which may actually suit you more. So if you want to achieve this life too, then maybe some of these business ideas to make money whilst traveling will appeal to you. So let's jump into them. Of course, for the first one, we are going to feature YouTube because this is where I have the most experience from, and I'm going to kind of show you how you can do something similar to what I've done already. With YouTube, I currently have over 100,000 subscribers on my other channel, which is in the gaming niche. You can actually make a pretty fairly decent or average living on a YouTube channel with less subscribers, but it does take months or perhaps a few years to actually build up and constant effort to get to that point. But you don't have to have millions of subscribers to actually be able to live abroad, or at least travel for long periods of time, weeks or months on end, from the income you're earning on, say, YouTube for an example. Now, to do this, you'll basically need some kind of device which will enable you to work abroad. Now, the best device is obviously a laptop, because it's kind of unfeasible to work on a tablet because you can't really edit on one. So I'd recommend first getting a laptop, and then you need a way to actually transport all your equipment. Now, it really depends what types of videos you make. If you're not using a camera like I am right now, and you don't need to film your face, then you just need to be able to bring a microphone with you to actually record your voice like how I'm doing in this video. But if you have a camera, maybe you want to do vlogging or some kind of physically filmed footage, you will need to bring your camera, your microphone, your laptop, and transport all your things in your luggage, which can be a little bit hard because you have to take them through security. You have to individually pack all your electronics into bags, take them through customs, and every time you go to a new airport, you need to check them in and scan them through the security checkpoints, right? So it can be a little bit tricky and cumbersome, but it's really rewarding when you can actually work on the go. It really depends how much equipment you do need to take with you, but it is actually viable to do this. And of course, the more portable your setup is and the less things you have to carry, the more doable it is, right? And the less stress you're going to have. The way that you can do this is you can script your videos on your laptop. You can record voiceovers with your microphone and recording equipment on your laptop. If you have to film your videos, you can film them away, maybe while you're exploring new tourist attractions, or just film them on your computer, depending on what types of videos you make. Then you can bring back the footage or the footage that's recorded on the computer and edit it on that laptop. So everything's basically doable from a laptop, which makes it so cool because it's portable, right? But there's a few things you have to keep in mind, right? Because you need to maintain your consistency when you're abroad, because as a YouTuber, you're supposedly supposed to stay on an upload schedule to regularly post content, because otherwise your channel will usually start to decline. So you need to kind of stay with that consistency, which is really important, not to get too distracted with traveling because it is quite enjoyable. And you need to continue to build up that brand and your channel and the content in its ecosystem whilst you're actually abroad and traveling, right? And you need to have that maintained focus on your business, okay? Try not to get too distracted and try to have a balance while you're exploring new places. Now, the next one is podcasting. So it's very similar to YouTube. Now, obviously, I've managed to do this with YouTube, and because I've done it with YouTube, it means with podcasting, it's a little bit easier, because even though you need to transport all your equipment, it really depends what type of equipment you have. If you have a microphone like this one that I'm using right now, it's quite heavy and a little bit harder to transport with you. But some people have what's called lavalier microphones, which they just clip onto their neck or onto their clothes. And some people have smaller microphones, which they can easily pack into their luggage. All you need is a microphone, and if you're obviously filming it for a YouTube video version of the podcast, you'll obviously need to bring a camera with you. Now, if you're actually filming a podcast, I'd recommend trying to have some kind of rental property if you're abroad. If you're living living in a different country, obviously you will be renting a real apartment, or you can rent an Airbnb or a rental property, because it'll allow you to have a little bit more flexibility with your time and also a lot more peace. Because in a hotel, I've successfully managed to record YouTube videos abroad, but you always have cleaners having to come in every single day and check your room and clean your room, and then you have to keep packing away your equipment, so it can get a little bit tiresome. But podcasts are basically all the rage right now. There's huge podcasts on YouTube that are really successful, and it's definitely the best time to actually get involved in the scene. You can make your podcast about any kind of passion you have, right? And then the way to monetize it would be to get branded partnerships, to have sponsorships on your podcast which talk about certain products and services. You can have ad revenue from the YouTube video versions of your podcast, and you can also have donations if you're actually having live streamed podcasts when you actually record them. And if you have pretty good equipment, you can just do podcasting as you wish when you move around, which is really cool. And depending on what type of podcast you have, you may even be able to just randomly interview guests in different countries if it's a travel podcast, or actually relocate or visit the places where certain people are and then interview them as guests. So it's really cool. It's quite rewarding to actually have a podcast on the go. Next up is freelancing, right? So if you have some kind of marketable skill, a few examples would be maybe graphic design, web design, writing, or even programming. Then you can use websites like Upwork or Fiverr.com to basically sell your services to clients or businesses who are looking for that particular skill, which is usually in high demand. Now, there's a lot of competition in this field, and you do need to be aware that if you're on one of the sites that I mentioned initially, there will be a lot of people, especially people from third world countries, who will undercut your price, because in those countries, obviously their average salary is a lot lower, so they will be fine with charging less than you. So there's high competition where people can be just as good as you at that service, but they'll charge less, which means it will be harder for you to get work. But if you build up your portfolio by offering your services for cheap at the start, then obviously your social proof will allow you to still get more gigs and work based on your reputation. So it can be hard to get into, but it can be really rewarding and very profitable as a freelancer. Freelancing is flexible, right? You can work from anywhere, you can have that laptop lifestyle abroad, and you can do with nearly any skill which you have, or talent or passion, and you can set your own schedule, which is what's the important part, especially when you're in a different country. The next one is a remote work job. So if you have a job already and you're okay with sticking to a 9-to-5 lifestyle, which it is for a lot of people, right? If you have a really good feeling about that reliability of the job, that has that stability there that makes you feel at peace, then this can be an option for you to have a remote work job. A lot of companies now, especially since the pandemic, are actually offering remote positions, and it's a lot more popular than it used to be, and there's a lot more jobs that are available to do this in, right? Especially IT jobs that offer things like admin work, which you don't really need to be in the office for. And a lot of these jobs, they require you to only be in the office like once every few weeks, once a month, which is mainly for going to meetings and things like that with your project team leader. But a lot of them actually allow you to just join these meetings over a service like Zoom or a different video conference app on the computer. So most times you don't actually have to physically be in the place that the business is situated in, meaning you can just enjoy the sun abroad as long as you stick to your work schedule, right? So it can still be rewarding to have a job, have that stability, but be in a completely different place in the world, which I think is a really good opportunity, which fits more people's lifestyles, especially those that are a little bit scared of taking a risk and trying to do something completely different. The next one is blogging. So this basically involves making your own blog or website and actually writing high quality articles on that blog. So you need to pick a website niche. So it could be something you have a vested interest in, or a passion in, or a lot of knowledge in, and then you have to write content for that website. Now, these articles have to be search engine friendly, so you have to get a very good search engine ranking to actually drive traffic to your website, or you can drive traffic to it from external sources like from YouTube videos, for an example. And if you write that quality content that's engaging and it has high discoverability, so people actually find it, then you can get a fan base and you can get people on your email list to sell products to, or you can make money from Google Ads by putting them on your website, and also affiliate links from website articles, which we're going to move on to next. So then we have affiliate marketing. So this is what you're going to use if you create a website, or if you choose the YouTube route as well, because especially with YouTube, you don't need thousands of subscribers if you either sell a product or you do affiliate marketing on the side. So what is affiliate marketing? So let's say you're a blogger, right? As an example, you write an article about the 10 best office chairs, and then you sign up to an affiliate platform. Let's just say you sign up to Amazon's affiliate program, and you use links to 10 different office chairs in that article that you're writing about, and people will click those links and actually buy those products, and you'll get a percentage as a commission from those sales. And eventually, with enough articles products and enough people buying those products, that will kind of pile up and build up a decent revenue stream. And if you're a YouTuber, you could do the same video about the top 10 best office chairs for gamers or something like that, and then have affiliate links in the description of that video, which are links that people click on, which takes them to the product on Amazon, and then they buy that product and you'll get a kickback from it. So that's kind of the general gist of how affiliate marketing works and the ways that you can apply it to your certain craft, right? So you get a small percentage of that sale when people actually buy from your link, which is kind of nice, right? It's very low effort, right? Now, the best affiliate programs in my opinion are Amazon Associates. That's the very best. That has the highest percentages, and everyone already trusts Amazon, so they're okay with using your links and actually buying from them. So you don't need to build trust with the customer because they already know, like, and trust Amazon as business. And also ClickBank, which is a little bit harder to actually sell products from because it kind of has that shady gist to it. But if you want to try those two services, I have videos linked in the description down below, completely full tutorials showing you how to use Amazon Associates and ClickBank for affiliate marketing. Now, one thing to note is I'd recommend you to already have a big blog or a decent YouTube channel to actually use affiliate marketing for, because it's kind of hard to sell products to without having that. And obviously, of course, being a YouTuber, it's a lot easier to do because you already have a personal brand which is associated to your face and identity, so your audience will trust you because of that. If you have a blog, it'll be a lot harder to get people to buy your products from. Then we have online teaching. So this involves you teaching a certain skill, especially as is the case with languages, to people who are in demand of seeking that. So let me explain. So maybe you could be a language teacher to teach English, or you could teach curriculum-based topics in school like maths or science that a lot of people are kind of having a tricky time learning. And you can do this while traveling, right? There's a few different teaching platforms you can use. A few ideas that come to head are VIP Kid, Teachaway, and also one called Preply. And all of these allow you to find those online teaching jobs to actually seek work for your craft, right? And also a lot of countries out there are actually looking for language teachers, especially as is the case with a lot of Asian countries. That's a very high in demand craft that a lot of countries are looking for. So if you want a normal job that's not so much as remote, then you can actually have that as an option too, be it a language or a curriculum topic teacher abroad. Then we have e-commerce. So this is starting an e-commerce store. Now, when you're going to do this via traveling and doing it remotely, you want to use Shopify dropshipping. The reason you probably want to use dropshipping is because you don't actually have to manage or ship any of those products yourself. You are basically acting as a middleman to create a store to connect the supplier to the customer. You're selling without having to actually do anything in the middle. Now, the best platform to do this is Shopify. I'll have a link in the description below for you to get a free trial on Shopify. If you use my link, you'll get 3 months for only $1 a month, which is an insanely good deal. So I'd recommend using that link, and it also helps me too. And I also have hundreds of free videos on dropshipping on this channel and a free 4-hour video course on YouTube that you can watch for completely free to learn how to actually do it. And I'll link that below too. Then we have stock photography. So this is actually really nice. I think this is a really great one for people who have that passion of taking photos, taking videos. And if you're already kind of inclined towards the cinematography side of things or the photography route, I think this is a really nice one that's very passion based. So this basically involves you taking real world photos or videos when you're abroad. Maybe you're in a really nice place like Athens in Greece and you see some really nice structures or tourist spots, or you see the Aegean Sea and you want to take some really beautiful photos. And after you take those photos just on your daily outings, you can actually sell those online for a profit and get royalties from them, because there's a lot of businesses and individuals like me, for an example, who want to use stock footage and stock photos for video projects and commercial projects, and they'll actually pay you to have a license to use your video and photo content. Now, the way you do this is you just take photos, or just do it professionally. As long as you have a good camera, right, they can take those high quality photos. And you'd use a website like Adobe Stock, iStock, or Shutterstock, and that will allow you to actually sell them. Now, these platforms will take a small commission from it, but you'll get a pretty healthy sum of the money by selling on these platforms, and it allows you to make money off an already existing passion, which I particularly think is a good one. And the next one is being a VA, aka a virtual assistant. Now, virtual assistants are very high in demand on online businesses, especially those in the e-commerce space or the software sectors. So this is a job which is very high in demand, and you should be able to find work relatively easy, especially because all the tasks are quite easy to perform as well. Now, you'll be doing things like email management, customer support, or general admin tasks for IT. And this will be for businesses or individuals who are looking for people to kind of micromanage their business with a small, menial, and simple tasks to kind of remove a lot of workload off their back from things they're already doing. Especially a lot of dropshippers that start making a lot of money, they need to have virtual assistants to start taking a lot of workload off them, right? And this job can be pretty good and quite flexible too, which is what's important. Now, if you want to find work as a virtual assistant, obviously Fiverr and Upwork, those kind of general freelancer websites we always recommend work, but there's also some companies you can apply for jobs for online in these sectors too. One example would be Belay or a company called Time Etc. So that's like Time ETC. So these companies are pretty cool to find jobs for those as well, but you actually need to get hired. So to conclude this video, I'm going to leave you with a few different points, okay? So making money as a traveler, it requires a certain mindset. It requires adaptability. It requires you to be open to learning entirely new skills and staying updated on trends and global opportunities that are current. And also is very competitive in many of these spaces. So it requires you to have a lot of patience and kind of have that real grind set attitude. You need to have a strong work ethic, be organized and flexible, and also have realistic goals. You need to think across long time horizons, like the next 1 to 5 years, for an example, rather than the next few days or weeks. And if you do that with enough consistency, you should be able to actually achieve that freedom of working whilst traveling, right? Now, you can start this whilst you're traveling, but a lot of these businesses are great to start at home, and then you can obviously continue to do them whilst you travel. And you'll get to a point where you're making enough money to actually be able to sustain it. So if this video and its tips were useful, drop me a comment in the comment section below and feel free to ask me any questions, because I've been enjoying this lifestyle for quite a long time and I just wanted to share my tips on how you can do it too. Obviously, if you ask any questions about YouTube, that's where I'll be able to help you the most because I have genuine experience in that. But if you have any other questions, feel free to ask and we can connect down in the comments below. And just give me a like on the video and subscribe so that I know you actually enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.